December 14th will, of course, be an amazing fight between Alexis Rocha and Raul Curiel. Now, of course, a lot at stake in this fight. Rocha, of course, is in his rebuilding phase, and if he were to lose again, especially if it's a knockout loss, considering Curiel is a knockout artist, it's gonna be very damaging. And of course, Curiel, he has not had his really big break yet, and this will be the fight. So if he wins, his name's gonna be out there. He's gonna put the division on notice. But besides that, let's talk about the fighters. Raul Curiel, the Cougar, is 15-0, 13 wins by way of knockout, 86% knockout ratio. This man means business. Of course, he is coming off of the first round stoppage win against Jorge Marron Jr., 20-4-2. Not the best record, but he has faced some good people, as in Elias Diaz, 8th round stoppage win, and Ferdinand Karabian, 9th round stoppage victory. Now, of course, the rest of the record, you see, not the best, but the one thing he does bring, besides, I guess you could say, good names, is obviously heart and confidence. You know, he's an undefeated fighter, and he got power. You know, they're going to be saying it all time in the fight. You better not let him gain confidence, because he's a bad man. He's going to knock him out. You know, he's also faced Brad Solomon, which is, a good name, I think, at the time, but anyways. But unfortunately, Alexis Rocha has beaten him when he had 2 losses instead. So technically, he has the better Brad Solomon on his name. But besides that, Alexis Rocha is 25-2, 16 wins by way of knockout, and 1 loss by way of knockout. He himself is coming off of the unanimous decision win against Santiago Dominguez, 27-0. Now, of course, Dominguez himself has quite a bit of power and somewhat of a very similar record or resume to Curiel. So that provides quite a bit of information. But now, of course, he's also beating people like Frederick Lawson in his comeback fight after losing to Giovanni Santillan. And of course, let's talk about that. Santillan stopped him in the 6th round via pretty bad beatdown, unfortunately, for Rocha. I think he was a little too eager to fight hurt, I guess you could say. But besides that, it seems like he has changed up his style. Seems, instead of being a brawler, he seems to be more of a southpaw mover. Now, of course, obviously, just gain Lomachenko-like footwork after losing, right? But it's going to be something similar to a Zurdo Ramirez, right? You've seen him fight Chris Billum Smith. Obviously, it's going to be something similar to that, which he has shown against Dominguez. But he's also beaten people like the at the time undefeated Blair Cobbs, 23-1 Giovannis Barraza, 9th round stoppage win. And of course, his first ever loss is Rashidi Ellis. At the time, Rashidi Ellis was undefeated. It was a decently close fight, but he was quite literally fighting a grown-ass man when he was like 23. I mean, 23 is also a grown-ass man, but in terms of boxing, people are like to say, that dude's a kid. No, you can't throw him in there. Right, but besides that, before that, he actually fought Brad Solomon, common opponent. 28-2, he went unanimous decision with him instead. But you could say the accumulation of the losses finally made it so Curiel is able to stop him. But at the same time, Curiel has more power than him. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course, obviously, off pure resume, Rocha has the better resume. Just easy. I mean, they said the same thing, or I said the same thing with Giovanni Santillan. You've seen his record. Not the best, not the best. Matter of fact, they both fought Frederick Lawson after their loss. Wow. And they both kind of basically lost around the same way. So they're 2 peas in a pod. But besides that, you look at Giovanni Santillan's record, some good wins for the most part. But with the power and all stuff, you think, no, this man isn't going to be Rocha. Nope, dude just comes out and just straight up steamrolls through him. So this could be something that could happen this time against Curiel. He has way more power, so it's a little bit less weird if he were to win by knockout. Like, Curiel knocked out Rocha. I mean, I had Rocha winning, but I guess I'm not that surprised, you could say. But the one thing is, Curiel seems to gas out. I mean, obviously not going the distance that much, being only against, he almost went decision with Pennington. He went 10th round. He stopped him in the 10th round, obviously. Actually, I think he damn near stopped him in the last couple seconds, right? But they're not the caliber of Rocha, right? You could say the same thing. Oh, but didn't you say the same thing with Sonny Edwards and Galal Yafai? A little bit, but Sonny Edwards seemed like he wasn't 100% in the fight, so we'll just keep it at that, right? But Curiel slows down significantly in the second half, which is always good for someone like Rocha. He has the skills to avoid any, well, not all the big punches, right? He's going to land something, but hopefully his chin holds up because, you know, he was stopped by Santillan, and Santillan isn't known for his power. I mean, look what he did against Norman Jr. He kept punching him and punching him. Norman Jr. did not budge. So, you know, that's whatever. But I do believe Rocha chin should be able to hold up, especially after his new and improved style of using angles and footwork and all that stuff, right? Should be able to avoid any and all big punches to the chin at least, you know, and take Curiel into deep waters and probably stop him. I was thinking decision, but considering he slows down significantly in the second half, I don't know if he completely changes that. But then again, this is his biggest opportunity. He's definitely going to try to get his cardio in check. So he may not even be struggling with cardio this time around. You never know, right? But I do think Rocha takes him into deep waters and stops him to the body. I don't know, around 7 to 9. Why not? Seems like a good thing. Curiel, some good names. By that, I mean like 2. But he does have confidence. He has heart. And he has power. You don't underestimate these guys. These guys will knock you out for that. Right? But then again, Rocha, I feel like he learned not to do that. I feel like he's not the one to really just underestimate him. So I think he's good on that, right? But besides that, I got Rocha stopping Curiel. Maybe we get a Santillan rematch after this fight. If he wins, obviously, if he wins. Because you never know. You know, Santillan is coming off of a loss. His own rebuilding process. A rematch would make sense, right? Maybe not main event this time around, but definitely co-main event. But besides that, both are still technically young. The difference is if Curiel loses, I feel like he's a little bit easier to rebuild than Rocha because this would be his 3rd loss. And you could say he keeps losing to elite opposition and all that stuff, right? But besides that, hope you enjoyed it. What do you guys think? I personally have Rocha beating Curiel by stoppage. I do think he's the quicker, more accurate puncher than Curiel. But then again, Curiel has that game-changing power. So if you're picking him to win, I don't blame you. The way he fights, he will land a big punch. It just depends on how Rocha takes it, right? You know, Curiel, although has not fought the best opposition, I feel like just more of not being able to fight good opposition, if you know what I mean. Like, hey, man, you want to fight this unknown guy with knockout power? What? No, why the hell would I do that? I'm going to go fight for a title. What the hell is wrong with you? Something like that, right? Besides that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.